Hello everybody! In this video we will take a look at the difference between adequate, sufficient and enough. And I'll use the one thing that we British people can never get enough of. Alcohol. Adequate is something slightly different, so we'll come back to that one towards the end of the video. But sufficient and enough both mean having the required amount of something in order to achieve a task or to feel satisfied. In order for me to explain the difference between all of these words, I need exactly this much alcohol. Anything less than this amount would be insufficient or simply not enough. And although we can describe this amount of alcohol as enough, sufficient would be more accurate. Because when we talk about sufficient, we are saying that the amount that we have is the absolute minimum amount that we need, or slightly above the minimum amount. When we measure the sufficiency of something, we do so from the point of absolute minimum amount and then increase that amount slightly. By contrast, enough suggests a much more generous amount. So generous, in fact, that it's almost more than we can handle. When we measure enough, we do so from the point of absolute maximum that we need and then decrease that amount until we get to the point of sufficient. As an example, you might say, I have had enough of your shouting and your screaming. But we would never say, I have had a sufficient amount of your shouting and screaming, because sufficient suggests just the absolute minimum or slightly above. And so, in theory, you could take some more of their shouting and screaming. Adequate, like sufficient, talks about the minimum requirement of something, and anything less than adequate is inadequate. But whereas sufficient looks only at the quantity of something, adequate looks at the quality of something. And that's it. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to check us out on Facebook and Instagram. Cheers.